Today, we're going to dive into a really powerful story about compassion, one that's been told for centuries. It's a tale that honestly pushes the very definition of giving to its absolute, most shocking limit.
So, where are we getting the story from? Well, it's from a classic Buddhist text, the Sutra of the Moon-Bright Bodhisattva. We're about to unpack a lesson from its ancient pages that really stretches the idea of what compassion can be. Let's get right into it.
So, let's just start with the central question this whole text is really exploring. What is the greatest act of giving? I mean, really think about it. Is it giving away wealth, sharing your knowledge, your time? Well, this story proposes an answer that's, well, it's both profound and, frankly, deeply unsettling.
Okay, so the story kicks off with a teaching. We see the Buddha with a young, very devout disciple named Yu Ming, which means moonlight. And the Buddha is explaining what it even means to be a bodhisattva. That's a being who vows to become enlightened, not just for themselves, but for everyone.
And right here, the Buddha lays out the foundation, these 4 great vows. You know, it starts with helping others find their way, then surrounding yourself with good people, sharing everything you have, all your wealth and treasures, and finally, actually finding joy in giving, whether it's spiritual wisdom or just basic food and support. These are the pillars of the path.
But then the Buddha adds something else, something that goes way, way beyond what most of us think of as charity. He says a true bodhisattva has to care for the sick, even if it means giving a part of their own body. Yeah, this is the moment the whole teaching pivots, and it sets the stage for the incredible story that's about to unfold.
To make this radical idea really sink in, the Buddha doesn't just lecture. I mean, how could you? Instead, he reaches way back in time and tells a story from an age so ancient, it's almost impossible for us to imagine.
So you can really feel the scale we're dealing with here. The Buddha is basically collapsing time, pulling a lesson from countless eons ago and dropping it right into the present for his disciple. This isn't just some nice little parable, it's being presented as a timeless truth being brought into the light. All right, so in that ancient past, we meet a virtuous king, Zi Li, whose name means wisdom power. And in his kingdom lived a revered monk, Zi Cheng-yi, utmost sincerity, a man the king respected more than anyone else.
And then, disaster strikes. The monk, this beloved figure, gets a terrible, painful sore on his thigh. The king, he calls in every healer in the entire land, but nobody has a cure. A huge shadow of despair just falls over the whole kingdom.
The king is just lost in grief. And then he has a dream. A celestial being appears and gives him this shocking prophecy. The only cure is the flesh and blood of a living person. Can you even imagine the king's horror? I mean, he's trapped in a totally impossible moral dilemma. But just as the king is about to give up all hope, a hero emerges, and it's his own son, the crown prince, named Ji. He sees his father's pain, and he understands how important the monk is to the world. And so the prince, he steps forward to offer the unthinkable. And in this moment, we see the teaching made unbelievably real. The prince, filled not with fear, but with this overwhelming compassion, he actually takes a knife. Without a moment's hesitation, he carves flesh from his own thigh and offers it up as medicine to save the monk.
And the sacrifice works. It actually works. The monk takes the medicine, and just like that, miraculously, the incurable sore is completely healed. You can just imagine the joy erupting throughout the kingdom. The prince's ultimate act of giving brought about an immediate miracle.
But see, the prince's action wasn't just physical. Right after, he recites a poem, a gatha, that reveals his true motivation. He dedicates this act not for fame or glory, but to overcome his own inner struggles, his own greed and anger, and to heal the suffering of all beings. The intention, you see, was every bit as powerful as the sacrifice itself.
So let's jump back to the present, where the Buddha is finishing up the story. But this is where it all clicks into place. He's about to reveal the true identities of the king, the monk, and of course, the prince.
And here it is, the big reveal. The monk, he was a past incarnation of an ancient Buddha. The king was Maitreya, who is said to be the Buddha who is yet to come. And the prince, the one who made that ultimate sacrifice, that was the Buddha himself in a previous life. So the Buddha explains to Moonlight that this act, as extreme as it seems to us, was just one of innumerable acts of selfless giving that he performed over eons on his long, long journey to becoming the Buddha.
It shows that enlightenment isn't just one single event, but it's the result of this vast accumulation of compassion and merit over an incredible amount of time.
And so that brings us right back to our opening question, but now we have a much, much deeper way of looking at it. The story's metaphor of giving one's own flesh, it's not a literal command, right? It's a question. It's asking us to look inside ourselves and wonder, what does true compassion really demand? And for the well-being of others, what are we, you and I, truly willing to give?